Let me show you a quick and dirty way to determine your ROAS. This is in the back end of my personal YouTube channel. I'm going to show you exactly how much I spend on some of the advertising and how many clicks I'm getting on them. And I'm going to admit, some of these I've gotten absolutely no results from, and others I've gotten a huge return on ad spend. I mean, we're talking all the way up to like 10 or 12x on some of the ROAS. And I'm going to do a breakdown of a quick and easy way to do the math behind it, actually using ChatGPT, so you don't waste a bunch of time just guessing and throwing money at the wind and creating a bunch of videos. Of course, this is going to be broken down into a couple of different steps. First, you need to create valuable content, and the second is you need to be able to know what to promote starting off, and at the end you need to be able to break down and determine your ROAS in order to go back to step one and do the whole thing back over again. I am very new to this myself. I've only been doing this for about 6 or 7 months for my personal YouTube channel, but I have been running Google ads underneath a professional marketing company for 3+ years. So I have a little bit of industry knowledge that I want to partake into you. And this is the quick and dirty way to do it from the YouTube end and just do YouTube promotions. Now you could go way more advanced in Google ads, but for most people, you are going to get pretty decent return on your ad spend if you can create valuable content up front. Of course, valuable content, interesting content, that's what it all comes down to. And the huge advantage to the social media platform is that you can create organic content first, and that is actually going to allow you to test the results without putting money behind it first. So your analytics on the back end of your account, that is going to tell you what videos to promote. You're going to be able to look down here at some of your top content and determine, okay, there's a 42% average view duration for this particular video. If I click into that video and I do an engagement over time, I can see, okay, how long do people stick around? Well, for this video, people don't stick around much past that 30-second mark. This is probably because I put some ad spend behind this particular video. And so the organic side, not doing so well. The paid ad side, it's sticking people around. Some videos that don't perform organic are going to perform super well putting some ad spend behind it because it has some type of call to action, a little bit of urgency behind it, and at least the first little bit of time at the very beginning, kind of 1-2 punch that you throw at the beginning of your videos to grab people and a hook at the very beginning, that may actually get people to click, and you may not know that until you put some ad spend behind it. So just because organic may not be doing really well, you may be able to put some ad spend behind it, pair it with a really good title, an interesting headline, and then get people to actually click and do some return on your ad spend. Now, to be very clear on what I am promoting and what I'm working with, I am doing some sponsorships that do an affiliate link for a particular company that I've been working for. I absolutely love them, and I've been using, I was using them for about 2 years before I actually started doing any sort of promotion for them. And then they reached out, and I've been creating some content organically first, and then they reached out a little bit later and said, hey, we love your videos. Can you do some sponsored kind of programs and videos for them? I was like, yeah, you're going to pay me for doing something I was already going to do and already have been doing. 100%, I'm behind that. So they are affiliate links, so they are going to work a specific way. And the reason I mentioned that is because if you're doing some YouTube promotions or Google ads or any ads whatsoever, and you have them going to a one-time purchase product, then you're going to be able to determine this just a little bit easier than how I am able to determine it. Because if someone clicks on my affiliate link and they sign up and put in their email, they may not actually purchase. And so one of the things that I have to deal with is a little bit of an estimation of when do they actually purchase. You may have to deal with that as well. So just putting that out there is that someone that signs up may purchase 3 or 4 or a year in advance, like 3 or 4 months later. So that may be a little bit of a difficulty whenever you're doing this determination, some of this math behind there. So it's not a direct science in that case, but if you are doing specific products, you will be able to determine this a little bit better. So some of the things you're going to need to be able to determine this is what I do is I actually pull a screenshot directly from YouTube promotions page. So I take this and then I ask GPT. So this is the quick and dirty way to do this. I've done this in Sheets. I've been doing this in Sheets for years. I use Google Analytics, Tag Manager, and do a lot of conversion tracking so I can get specific data in other platforms. But this is Super easy way for anyone to do this. So I take the screenshot of promotions, and the way that I do that is click on the channel content and then go over to your content page and click on promotions. And on the promotion page, you can zoom this out as far and get as many of them in view as possible, and then do a screenshot. If you don't have any information, just follow along for the rest of the video. This will give you kind of a jump start for whenever you do start doing promotions. So I screenshot this, and then I go back to GPT and I throw this in as a screenshot. And I just asked it, it's like, this is a list of recent promotions on YouTube. Can you show me which ones were most effective or efficient at getting clicks? Create a table with cost per click and other important metrics on here. Of course, you can ask for additional data to be calculated. In our case, it pulled the promotion title, the cost that I put behind, or the ad spend, the website clicks, and then the cost per click. Of course, you can go directly to Google Ads, the YouTube promotions tied to your Google Ads account, and you can get all these metrics. But for most people, seeing it here is going to be super nice. So cost per click, this doesn't equate a ROAS, but it is going to show you how much of a return you are getting for your spend in order to get people to click. And so you can determine things like how effective is my thumbnail, how effective is my headline, and my description. That's what your cost per click is going to help you determine. So once I pulled this cost per click, the next thing that I wanted to understand is how are my headlines and titles doing? So inside of the Google Ads or the YouTube ads, whenever you're creating a new promotion, you go to promotions and click on new promotion. You have a couple of different goals. All of mine have been, or the majority of mine have been website visits because I want them to go to a URL. So I click on next, then you select your YouTube video. So in my case, we're going to do how to set up and sell GoHighLevel's SEO tool. And then I would put the specific link or landing page that I want people to be directed to. And this is what gets missed sometimes is there's this little drop down with edit promotion headline. By default, it's going to pull the title of the video. We want to come in here and edit this headline. In my case, I have data to support the headline that I'm going to put in here. But in your case, you may not have your promotions yet. So just follow along. I'll show you some of the headlines that I've done. For the promotion description, you may be asking where does all this show up? It's going to give you a little kind of example of how this ad is going to look. Some of these would be pre-roll. Some of these would be kind of banners in the upper right-hand corner. They're going to show up in a couple different places. If you are not on a YouTube Premium, which I highly suggest, just go into an incognito where you're not logged in, watch a couple of YouTube videos, and you'll start to see where these ads are going to play. That way you have a end user experience from a first person perspective, so you know where these ads are going to be placed. Go ahead and do that real quick so that you have an understanding. But this is an example of what this ad is going to look like. So I may not want Joshua Sandiford here twice, so I'm going to edit this promotion description. But what would I do there? For the promotion description, in my case, I have some overviews of which ones are most effective. So I pulled everything into a screenshot onto a sheet, and I put my promotion headline, promotion description, countries targeted, all of the details here with thumbnails. I asked GPT to just identify which ones of these were pairing really well and most effective for this account. And so headline pairing showed up, and look at this. Here's this broad appeal and technical CSS customization. This is kind of a description or summary of the results tied to the highest performing cost per click videos. So this is pairing it to the first question that we had. It's going to identify some of the patterns. In my case, it's going to show me which ones are not very good, and then some additional patterns. So in the end, the last thing that I wanted to give it is the end result. But before I go into that, so the pattern analysis that it pulled is, practical walkthroughs with a technical depth. Those were the ones that performed super well. Here's the countries that performed really well. And of course, the behind the scenes and real account framing is what worked for my account. So I had a description that said, look inside my personal account. That video performed really well, and I actually got quite a few results from that. And what I was able to do is pair which I'm going to show you in a few minutes, pair the results and give ChatGPT how much I actually made to determine and do some math around my return on ad spend, or the ROAS. So what I'd do is I'd take descriptions like this or headlines like this, and I'd pair it into the channel creation. And I'd do like promotion description, look inside my personal account. Next, then I would go to delete India, Indonesia. That's not going to be countries I am personally targeting. I speak English, and the particular advertising that I'm doing is not going to work very well there, at least what I understand. I could be completely wrong, but what I understand is not. You can add your language here. Of course, YouTube knows what language your video is in. So, but I would put English in my case. Some of this other targeting, if you have a particular product that does work with a particular age, or you can't target a particular age, go ahead and make those adjustments here. But otherwise, YouTube's pretty good at making their targeting, just like Facebook. Click on next, and this is where you determine your budget. So this is total budget that it's going to spend from the time that the campaign starts, like gets approved, to the end date. So you select your end date, total budget. It's going to tell you how much it's going to spend every single day, and it's going to give you estimates. How many clicks, how many estimated impressions. One of the things that you can do here is take this estimated number of clicks, and if you have an idea of the funnel page or the landing page people are going to end on, and the audience, if it's a tested funnel page, tested landing page, you may be able to determine a rough estimate of how many people are going to fill out and sign up or purchase the product. So if you have a rough conversion rate for the landing page you're pushing people to, then this estimated clicks are going to be slightly useful, because then you can determine, is the audience actually good? Again, you don't have a ton of control underneath the audience that you're targeting. You're not doing custom audiences or engagement or retargeting or uploading a custom audience list to Google Ads or Facebook Ads. This is very broad, so your video is going to show up in a bunch of random places. That is one thing that I have seen. It's showing, like mine showed up in a cooking video and showed up in a car repair video. But I did get some results from the people that clicked on that, like sign-ups or at least clicks and engagement on it. And who knows, they may eventually come around to signing up for something. But that is one of the gambles that you're taking doing it this way, is it's going to see a huge audience, and a bunch of different people are going to see the video. So just be aware of that. Then you'd click on promote. It would take it and push it into status of approval. So there's active, approval, pause. There's also like declined or disallowed, something like that, where it does unapproved, something like that, where the video doesn't get approved, probably like a headline issue or a URL issue. If your URL goes to like a 404 or there's a redirect, then the status isn't going to get approved, and then your promotion won't go live. So once the promotion is live, then the goal is going to display here, and you're going to be able to see how much it costs, total promotion impressions, views, promotion subscribers, and website visits over the time that it's running. So what I did in the end is I took a screenshot actually of the reporting dashboard for my affiliate side, and I was able to determine and actually show ChatGPT, here's how much was spent, and then here's how many people saw the different ads over the course of time. Can you give me a return on ad spend? So it showed me, okay, $3,500 total earnings over the course of the display time, total clicks 3,020, total signups 21, customers 9. Okay, average cost per click $1.17, revenue per click $1.17. Cool. Then it was able to give me a return on ad spend estimated for each one of the videos based on whenever it's clicked. Now, I can't directly tie this to a particular video or particular link at a particular time. And the issue is because the model of links that I'm doing to the affiliate is going to limit me to that, because if someone signs up at a certain time, then they may not have actually purchased immediately with that. But if you are doing products, you will be able to determine the ROAS quite a bit more effectively. And unless you have like signups for newsletters and things like that, that attribution is just a little bit harder. But in my case, the affiliate model just makes that ROAS just a little bit harder. So again, this is going to be a little bit of estimate. Certain videos have pretty high kind of return on ad spend across the board. I have spent extra money on particular videos that had no returns. So my ROAS across the board could have been quite a bit higher if I hadn't made those mistakes, but you learn from your mistakes. Then it's going to give me the top campaigns, and I'm tying this to particular videos. So The ultimate goal in this is to refine and optimize each one of the YouTube promotions, ultimately Google ads and Facebook ads tied to particular videos that you're doing. So you want to make sure your thumbnails are really good, the titles and descriptions are really good, and you want to be able to determine, if I spend X amount of money, I will have this amount of return. So in my case, if I spent $1,000 on ads, I'm probably going to get $3,000 to $4,000 return on my ad spend. And that's what this shows. But moving forward, I should be able to, I'm estimating to be able to spend $1,000 and get maybe $6,000 return on my ad spend as I continue optimizing this up. And ultimately, these are the campaigns that performed really well for me. There's particular dates, when and months when certain things are going to perform better than others. So just be aware of that. You're going to have promotion deals during the summer, promotion deals during like Christmas or New Year's, and that's going to all have an effect on it. So just because you tried it 1 month doesn't mean you shouldn't try it next month or 2 months down the road. And the more times people see your ads and just they see you, they see your brand, whatever your product you're promoting, that is going to be ingrained further and further into their brains. And so the promotions actually are compounding effects. And that's a little bit hard to do a return on ad spend, because if you spent a ton of money back in January, but someone purchased it in December, they may not have seen your ad in December, and the attribution was actually for January. So those are things that you have to just be aware of when you're doing paid ads in general. Is return on ad spend is not a direct science. You can get real close, but it's not perfect. And that's one thing, if you are doing this marketing for clients, then convincing them that they need to spend a bunch of money throughout the entire year, a little bit of a harder sell. But if you can do it for yourself first, which is exactly the reason why I'm doing it, is I'm showing my clients and showing people that I work with, here are the results. You need to spend a bunch of money throughout the entire year in order to make your ad spend, your return on ad spend at the end of the year, and it'll pay off. And of course, this is all going to be tied back to the quality of your videos. So what I recommend is going to your channel, going to your analytics on YouTube, and go to each one of your pieces of content. And for example, I have this one that says how to sell GoHighLevel's chat widget. The kind of watch time at the 30-second mark drops down to 28% of people still watching. Now I've done a ton of ad spend behind this video, so that's going to drop it. So it doesn't necessarily perform really well organically, at least not at the moment, but it performed decently for paid ads. So just because it didn't perform super well on organic, it may perform well for paid, but that first hook at the beginning, that's what actually keeps people. So you need to make sure that the hook has some type of sell, and make sure that the video that people are watching is directly correlated and tied to the landing page. Because if they watch the video and then they click on the link and it's something completely different, they go, what? That's not what I clicked on. Then you probably have lost them at that point, unless it's a shock and awe that has some type of correlation and you're like, oh, I didn't even think about tying those two things together. That may be beneficial, but of course that's a hard strat. That's a cool strat, but a hard strat to do. So organic is where you need to start, create quality content first and publish for a while, so you get a good feel of how the YouTube algorithm works and promotes certain things. And you can probably tie a lot of the information that you get on the organic side to your paid ads. Okay, all that to say, if you want to dive into this just a little bit more, you can actually jump into gocollab.com/build. And I've got a how to build your business specifically for GoHighLevel businesses, but it'll work for any online business whatsoever. So I've got an introduction, which is like how to create your business, free SaaS templates, and then it'll jump into how to create your offer, how to sell websites, the free pitch deck, a live intensive, and then a 5-day challenge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, cool. And then mastering your business. This mastering your business doesn't have a bunch of different thumbnails, and that's kind of on purpose. These are free videos that is a course all in one. And the way that I want you to approach it is watch each one of them to teach you how to use the software yourself that you build your business on. And then you can download every one of the videos. So if I click into this overview walkthrough, there's a little PDF download. Well, it's not a PDF, but an MP4 download. You can download this onto your computer, and this becomes a course that you can use to train your clients on how to build their digital business. Every one of these videos has a download to the video and it becomes yours. So I want you to jump into there. It's completely free and there's a bunch of different offers inside there. And then if you have any further questions inside of the build community, you can jump into the discussion section and I've got a bunch of different things. You can chat with me, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to anyone else in the community. We have 987 members as the time of recording this, and it is gocollab.com/build. And I will see you inside. I hope this was useful, and thank you for your time, and good luck on the advertising. It has been greatly beneficial to me. It's something I've only done very recently, since like December, like October of 2024 till today, and I will continue doing it moving forward as long as there is a business advantage to putting marketing dollars behind some organic videos, which is an underrated strat to do. So good luck, and we'll talk soon.